So, whatever happened to Ape No Kill Ape?
Well, some things get lost in translation.
Welcome to the Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris, that's Bill, and today we are watching Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, directed by Wes Ball. So, Bill, what did you think of the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
I still hate every ape I see, from chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
Okay.
It's a new subspecies
Neat.
that I just made up.
They're the ones with the superpowers.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're the ones that become detectives.
Yeah. Oh man, monkey detectives.
You never heard of Detective Chimp?
Is he a Marvel character?
DC.
Oh my god. Maybe he'll be in the Crisis in Infinite Earths Part 3.
No, but I bet your ass he's on the short list of weird characters. James Gunn's like, definitely got to put him in something.
Man, that's gonna be weird. Does he dress like Sherlock Holmes?
Of course he dresses like Sherlock Holmes.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
He was in Batman Brave and the Bold a few times.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That was a show I never watched that much of, to be honest, but I should watch more.
Good show.
Yeah. But anyway, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Good movie. Good
Yeah.
monkey movie.
It is a good monkey movie. There's a lot of mean monkeys in this movie, though.
There's no monkeys in this movie. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I guess they're all apes.
Duh.
Yeah.
Come on, don't you know anything about science?
I mean, I know some things about science.
Not this, apparently.
I guess not.
Monkeys have tails.
I refuse to believe the Earth is flat. But anyway.
Good, you should refuse to believe that.
Okay,
The
good.
Earth is round.
That's good. Because everything's all topsy-turvy now. But anyway, it was pretty cool. It's like an interesting sequel to the 3 other Planet of the Apes movies with confusing names.
Rise of, Dawn of, War for.
I guess War makes sense, but it's like Rise and Dawn. It's just like, wait, shouldn't Dawn be first, then Rise?
They're kind of interchangeable.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it was pretty cool. We follow a new ape named Noah,
Yes.
and
We actually start with Caesar's funeral.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. We get to see, what's his name, Maurice one more time.
yeah, I don't remember if that was the last scene of the other.
No,
Planet of the Apes. I think it was just him dying.
Yeah,
right?
he just drops dead. We see the landscape and then credits roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's many generations later, no real length of time. So
I think the filmmakers have said like a couple hundred years, like maybe 200 to 300,
okay.
which that kind of tracks for what we see later. Because any further would have been a bit of a stretch, and even some stuff I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I can believe 100 years later just because there's still, like, the ruins of, like, the old world, you know, the buildings. One thing that I thought was, like, very interesting is in Noah's village at the beginning of the movie, like, you see they have these, like, really tall towers.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, like, man, those apes have been building. But then they get burnt down and it reveals they're, like, electrical pole towers that they actually built on top of, which I was like, oh, that's a really interesting touch to, like, just, like, the world and stuff. But, so, what do you want to talk about with this movie, Bill?
Well, like you said, it centers around Noah, who's a chimp, and his family gets attacked by a marauding band of evil apes.
Yes.
Who are...
No Kill Ape doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, they are marauding on the behalf of Proximus Caesar.
Which is a great name. Proximus Caesar. It's like, yeah, okay.
An ape who has sort of corrupted Caesar's ideals for his own needs because he wants to be a king, wants to conquer, wants to build a new grand ape civilization. And he's chasing a human for reasons.
Yes, which we find out later in the movie. But I will say the visual effects are incredible in this movie. It's like, man, those monkeys look even more real.
You would hope, right?
I mean, I feel like if you showed like a person this movie from like the 60s and just like said like, yeah, those are actually real monkeys, they'd be like, what? How?
Science.
Yeah.
That's how. And it wouldn't be a lie because it is science.
It is.
Yeah, it's incredible. There's, I would say, very few scenes of this movie that don't have a visual effect because the majority of the cast are apes.
Yeah. I even wonder how much of the backgrounds are visual effects, if like all of them are, or if they did shoot on some
I think
locations.
they probably shot on location. That felt like they were really outside.
Okay.
Because I think they did that with the other ones too. They were like actually outside and like the woods and stuff. And
Well, that's cool if they did actually build some stuff and film it. I know like most of the people, like it's like motion captured. They're wearing like the suits with all the dots and
yeah,
stuff. But my God, they look so real. And I don't know for sure, but like, with Noah, I don't know if it's like supposed to be like implied if Noah is like an ancestor,
descendant.
descendant of Caesar. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. Descendant or
Uh,
what?
I don't know. We kind of briefly see Caesar's son, I think, for a second, but there's no way of knowing and no way of proving because, well, that knowledge has been lost.
Yeah.
Because as we find out, much like in real life, the teachings and stories of others can be lost in translation, forgotten, corrupted, and just little touches will be forgotten as they're passed along. Because on his journey to save his family once they're captured by the marauding evil apes, Noah encounters an orangutan, voiced by Bortus from the Orville.
Bortus, you want a piece of cake?
Yes, but I do not want that piece.
He is I guess you could say, priest of Caesar.
Yeah, he
'Cause
calls
that's the kind of
himself
vibe I got.
something. Yeah, he
Yeah.
said he was part of like the Order of Caesar or something. Or
He's even wearing a necklace like a cross, but it's the window from the other movie.
yeah,
And he has no idea what that means.
no,
He just knows this symbol is important for Caesar. He doesn't
Yeah.
know what that means. He refers to all humans as Nova, and he doesn't know why. They just met a girl whose name was Nova.
Yeah.
And that was somehow lost to time.
just like we'll call this human Nova. It is what we call all humans.
Why? We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess like spoiler, they're shocked when the human girl they're with actually talks, and they're like, "Oh my God."
She's like, my name is May, because there are still a sprinkle of humans that could still talk and think left.
Yeah, I guess they have immunity for the virus. Some of them just never went outside once the virus came out, just in case.
I don't know.
Because there's like these bunkers we find out that like humans have been hiding in.
Spoilers from the end, we do see a human wearing a freaking hazmat suit when she goes outside.
Yeah. So, virus. It's a very real threat.
At least they're still afraid of it. I mean, you think after this many years it wouldn't be, but
I mean, who knows? Maybe it's even worse.
Maybe.
Like, if they haven't been outside in like a couple generations, those people go outside and they're like, oh my God, mega allergies.
ah, you maniacs!
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Like, Noah is a pretty cool character. He's kind of clever. Like, he kind of figures out how to repair the evil apes, like, cattle prods they were using. Like, he's very technical minded, but I don't know. He's also, like, pretty strong. Like, at the beginning of the movie, he does a cool jump off a building with, like, a metal rod and sticks it into like a thing to climb.
Well, chimps are really strong.
I mean, yeah, they are. I think they're 4 times stronger than humans.
They're like all muscle.
They are.
You can find pictures of like chimps that for whatever reason are lost all their fur, and they're just nothing but muscle. It's freaking scary.
Don't pick a fight with a chimp. They go after your face and genitals for some reason.
And your eyes.
Yeah.
They will rip your eyes out and break you.
Yeah. Do not keep chimps as pets.
No! Bad idea. They're adorable when they're babies, but man, once they mature.
Whatever you do, do not give them a barrel. They will throw that barrel so hard at you. Also, there might be another smaller chimp in that barrel that will help them.
And I guess they'll steal your girlfriend and make you climb up a series of ladders.
I guess so. Although, Mario technically was kind of the bad guy in that game.
His girlfriend was kidnapped. We've been over this.
Yeah, but he kidnapped Donkey Kong
Says
first.
who?
I don't know, lore?
What lore? In the lore?
I'm sure there's a tome somewhere
Bull
in a
crap.
cave in Japan.
I maintain Mario was an innocent victim of circumstance, and some Carl Denham movie maker Hollywood man kidnapped King Kong from Donkey Kong Island.
Maybe that does track.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Pauline, she bounced back and became the mayor of New Donk City.
Why'd they name it after him?
I don't know. Because maybe they realized that monkey was actually a hero.
Nah.
Is Donkey Kong a hero?
No, because
He's just saving his bananas in his games.
and getting captured in all the other ones.
Yeah, I guess 2 out of 5 he's captured. But anyway, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, eventually we do meet Proximus Caesar, and he's trying to get into a vault.
Yes.
Some kind of old bunker filled with weapons, and, well, at one point there must have been people in there, but they probably all died a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, we see some things, and at a moment I was like, oh man, are we going to see a monkey in a tank? I'm like, did we already see a monkey in a tank?
Maybe?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, the guns and stuff. Like, I remember that monkey riding the horse with the 2 machine guns.
I'm pretty sure there was a tank bit, too.
Yeah, so. But I guess, like, you know, action-wise, like, it doesn't get, like, too big when it comes to that. But, like, it is pretty intense.
Yeah, especially when the marauding apes attack the village. One of them's a gorilla, and he's just a brute.
He really is. He is. Yeah, he's huge. I wonder why there's, like, only, like, one gorilla. Like, most of the other, you know, monkeys are just, like, chimps and stuff. But there's, like, the one gorilla there.
And there's the one orangutan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're just, like...
It's weird.
It is weird. Maybe a little more variety, but...
Yeah, the other movies, there was more of all the different apes.
Yeah. It's interesting in many ways. This is very much like a jumping off point for like a new Apes, you know, trilogy or whatever. It definitely is like setting up like this is like part 1 to like a larger story. Which...
Not in a ham-fisted way.
No.
This could easily be its own thing, mostly. It's still seeded from the previous 3. And it does have a conclusive story. If for some reason this movie failed, it'd be like, oh, well, we got one more.
Yeah.
But it definitely leaves a lot open. There's a large world filled with good and often evil apes and good and often mutated people worshipping nuclear bombs.
We'll see if they go there.
I mean, there's still that spaceship that they could still play that card one day. That's a good thing in the back pocket.
That would be very interesting if they ever do that. Like,
I feel like at one point you may as well.
yeah, why not?
Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for them to try new and different things, but eventually, you know, got that one thing. It's in the back pocket.
Yeah.
It's there when they need it. When they're out of ideas, they play that card, and that's fine. There was though a lot of stuff from the old movie in here. We got like the scarecrows briefly, kind of in the background. Once again, everyone's just ignoring the massive red flags of, yeah, somebody put these up there and they're probably not nice.
Yeah. This
music
rickety bridge is fine.
Yeah. You know, just seeing the apes on the horseback chasing humans.
Yeah.
Very much invoke the original. I feel like there was even some more musical cues from that first movie, which I wouldn't have noticed had we not recently rewatched the original.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, just a little bit. I mean, they did that with some of the other, like, I think with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And
Well, maybe
Yeah.
the old one wasn't as fresh in my head when I watched that one.
yeah.
But like I've only watched the first one recently, like a month ago, so it's still very much in my head.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening in this movie, though. Like, the warping of, like, what Caesar originally said. The apes, just on their own, are becoming more intelligent to begin with. Like, Noah's tribe is all about, like, training birds.
Yeah.
They're, like, the eagle tribe. And for the most part, they pretty much figured out how to do that on their own.
Yeah.
So, like, it's, like, definitely, like, yeah, the apes probably, it's only a matter of time before they start developing their own technology, either by, like, backwards engineering stuff they found in, like, you know, the old world, or just developing it on their own.
Yeah.
You know, there's the thing with the telescope, which, you know, is kind of a big deal when, you know, Noah finds it and, like, looks through it and sees space, and he's like, oh my God.
Yeah. We don't see it, but we see the look of wonder on his face where he's
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Yeah, so that probably will lead to something, you know.
Maybe. Charlton Heston.
Yeah, I guess so.
Digitally recreated.
Oh no, don't do that. He's gonna be like, get your
You maniacs.
get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape.
I'm not going to lie. There was a moment where I'm like, Not gonna go there again, are they?
Oh
But
man,
they did it.
that little girl though, she probably could have done that. That girl was pretty tough. She like killed that guy like
Oh yeah,
like no problem. She's just like yeah.
there was another human, William H. Macy.
Honey, I'm home.
He's bad.
He's a species traitor.
Yeah. Trade his kind for the monkeys.
Or just sort of like, well, I'm kind of I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
I mean, fair is fair, and you're in that situation. Civilization's fallen. Everything's fucked. You're the only person that you know that can talk
Yeah.
and has like sentience. All right, fine. I'll tell the chimp bedtime stories if I can live comfortably. Whatever.
There you go. I mean, he did say, like, you know, he left his group and immediately shattered his ankles and was
Yeah.
pretty much, like, gonna die until Proximus found him. And it's just like, and give Proximus his credit, you know, he's a pretty smart ape to be like, hey, listen, you're human. You can read these symbols, can't you?
You can teach me.
Yeah.
Teach me.
So, like,
Show me.
it is interesting, like, you don't know where Proximus came from, but clearly wherever he came from had more knowledge of Caesar and the
Yeah.
old world to begin with for Proximus to know, like, hey, if I can find a human that can actually read this, I could take over and be like the king I always wanted to be.
Yeah, Noah's group seemed to have been more isolated, like maybe because as we saw kind of previously, like because that virus spread, apes that were not part of Caesar's group were also growing intelligent,
Yeah.
so they kind of probably just sprung up on their own and kind of just remained isolated.
Yeah, that definitely seems like the case.
Yeah. Also, circling back to William H. Macy talking to Proximus, he's like telling him what is, I guess, meant to be like a fun story because to entertain him. He's saying something about them, and they all had a toga party, and I'm just like sitting there being like, is he telling him Animal House?
Oh my god.
Is he telling him the story of Animal House?
Maybe.
I mean, if I was in a situation like that, I'd be like, what do I got? All right, you're an ape. How would you like to hear the tragic tale of King Kong? Or the legendary story of Dunstan, who checked into a hotel. It's like, do you know any other great monkeys, ape stories? No.
There's a gorilla for sale. Magilla gorilla. Oh, crap.
It's like, geez. Let me tell you about Donkey Kong
There you go.
and his country
Yes.
and the vicious alligator men that stole his bananas.
Yes. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. It almost seems like too this movie is like sort of like myth building, like Noah in some ways. Like there's like the thing where, you know, the eagle is kind of following him all
Yeah.
through his journey, and like, you know, he keeps saying to the eagle, like, you're taunting me, because like he's trying to avenge his like father's death.
Yeah, it was his father's trained eagle
Yeah.
that never liked him. He was
Yeah.
always nipping at him. He's like, get away from me. You're not your dad.
Yeah, but then finally the eagle lands on his like arm, and like, you know, the mom sees it and it's like, oh shit, like he's like the next leader. He's been chosen by the eagle.
I kind of like that. Like he is sort of like he earns his leadership. Where I don't know, you feel like Proximus is just trying to like make it seem like he earns it. Like he's taken Caesar's name and making it his own.
Yeah.
Calling himself Proximus Caesar.
Yeah.
It's sort of like how like because we find out he was being told about like ancient Rome and stuff. Like how he must have heard about like the Caesars. Oh, they took the name Caesar? I'll take the name Caesar.
There you go. But yeah, he's like a usurper. Like,
He's a usurper of the legacy
yeah.
that's been corrupted, forgotten, misremembered. Because, you know, they don't have language. They haven't written anything down.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff gets lost. Like little girls named Nova.
Yeah. But it's interesting. Like, you know, I guess like the one lesson that kind of Caesar had was like, you know, like apes strong together, which kind of comes into play at the end of the movie. They defeat Proximus in a pretty cool way with eagles.
Yeah.
And then they go home to rebuild their tribe and everything. And May,
She got a hard drive.
yes.
And I thought, I'm like, oh, is that going to have like information that, are they still trying to cure that virus? But all it seemed to do is reactivate the communication satellites.
Yeah, which is weird because like they are kind of all like busted up on the outside, so I guess they still would work for communicating with people on Earth, maybe, but like, I was kind of like, but they're like missing a lot of panels and shit. But
Those things usually don't have panels.
well, the dish part was like missing.
That's fine.
Yeah,
They're contacted somebody in Idaho or something.
yeah, it's fine. Microwaves, whatever.
It's a movie about talking
Yeah.
monkeys.
I also wonder if, like, in that, like, 200 years or however many years long, if a bunch of our, like, space stuff has just, like, fallen back to Earth, like satellites and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, because they would.
Yeah. It's very cool. It's crazy that we got a new Planet of the Apes movie. I hope it does well to see more of.
Early tracking seems to be pretty good. The reception seems fairly positive. People generally like the other ones. They're never like huge, the budgeted movies or grossing movies. They're like, it's like good franchise. It's like a solid earner. They're restrained with the budget, even with all the crazy apes.
Yeah, which is hard to believe just because it's like, man, those visual effects. It's like those monkeys look so real.
Yeah, I know.
Like they're even wet. They even get like all dirty. They've got like matted fur now. You're like, oh my God.
It's funny, like you look at this movie and it's like, and then you look at couple of the recent Marvel movies and it's like how rushed and bad their effects look. And it's like they cost around like $40 to $50 million more than this movie.
Yeah, it's like, listen, this broccoli head guy took like $150 million to make.
Look, we know Captain Marvel bad guy lady, it doesn't look like she's actually on a moon, and it looks worse than a television show from 10 years ago. But, well, you see, fuck you.
Same company, too, which is funny.
Well, I mean, different divisions,
yeah.
different. They know that these apes have to look good.
Yeah.
Those other movies set a high standard, and they have to meet that standard and exceed it. There's an expectation. People expect these apes to look real.
Yes.
So they have to look real. And if they fuck that up, the franchise is done.
Definitely.
And they worked way too hard to make the Planet of the Apes franchise viable again after they burnt it out really quickly back in the day, and Tim Burton immediately shat the bed.
That is kind of funny, where it's just like original franchise burnt out. They rebooted again and immediately burnt out.
I mean, Tim Burton literally ended it in a way where it's like, how do we follow this? I don't care. He literally made an ending just to fuck with everybody.
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing? But, yeah, Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, it's really good. And it does seem like it's the first chapter of a bigger story. But it's not a bad thing. I would say definitely go see it.
It's worth a watch, especially if you like the other three.
Yeah. And anything else you want to add?
I hate every ape I see, from Chimpan A to Chimpan W.
Oh, actually, one thing, too.
What?
The guy that directed this movie apparently is going to direct the Legend of Zelda movie. So,
Huh.
yeah. So, okay. All right, you have my attention, Wes Ball, who's directing the Legend of Zelda movie, apparently.
Unless Disney handcuff him to part 2 of this.
I guess we'll see. But I guess with that being said, that's the Out of Touch podcast for this week. Good night, everybody. You didn't know that, did you?
What a wonderful day!